Okay, hi guys. Today we have Harshini Pathak with us here from NMIMS Mumbai.
Hi,
How does it feel to come back to Calcutta?
It is always a pleasure to come back here. This is the place where I've actually started my journey for MBA, and it is always great to come back here. I get to learn everything every time I come here.
Nice. So could you tell us more about your MBA journey? How was it?
Sure. So before I joined NMIMS, I was working with Accenture. That was my campus recruit through Thakur College.
Okay.
And I worked with Accenture for 25 months. And I left as an application development analyst. So I always knew I had to pursue my further studies, and I was pretty sure it is going to be MBA.
Okay.
But I could not decide when to do it. So one fine day I decided, I heard about CATKing and I decided to join CATKing. And I also did not want to leave my job because I am good at multitasking. That is what I always say. And I always live by it also. So it was a very hectic schedule for me, traveling all the way from Malad to Vikhroli every day, an hour and a half travel one way. So what I used to do is, verbal being my weak area, I used to read Word Power Made Easy while I was traveling. So this is one way in which I saved time and I prepared myself also. So it was not easy. The good things will never come easy to you.
Definitely.
You will have to put a lot of effort.
So how
behind
did you
it.
balance, like, apart from the travel time and everything, where were you studying the rest of the things, and how do you utilize your weekends well?
So I used to always make sure I carry either verbal, quant or LR and DI basic book in my bag wherever I go.
Okay.
And Accenture had its library also. So I used to spend some time over there in isolation and prepare my basic book. So I always made sure that I am very firm on my basics. If at all I get stuck in some advanced questions, Ekagra sir, Rohit sir and Rahul sir, Anisha, we all were there to solve our doubts at any given time of the year.
That's nice, that's good to hear. They're actually very great. Like
Yes,
Rohit sir,
definitely.
for your
Yes.
points
They were
and
always there for
always
any kind of
switched
help
them.
needed, yes.
Interesting, nice. So also you mentioned like you were from Accenture, an engineer. That's like one of the most cliche profile, an engineer working in Accenture, coming for an MBA, that too at 210, which was NMAT's cut off. So what did you think made you, make that cut?
Yes, so I am always an average student and I don't think I'll ever be a topper, and it's okay. It's honestly okay to be an average student. So I know I come from a very cliched background, so I had to make sure that what stands out for me is my profile. There are a lot of extracurricular things that I have done, like my dance and my sports. And this is something that has always worked for me because I used to do both these things simultaneously. And the interviewers or whoever I interact with, they always used to get surprised by how I manage both of these together. So that is my plus point, and I always made sure that I bring this point up in my interview wherever I have been asked. So yeah, again, mentioning about the statement of purpose which we had to make for NMIMS,
Yes.
I made sure my story revolves around how I have imbibed my learnings from the days where I used to practice dance and sports, and how I am utilizing them now as well. So when it comes to doing 2-3 things together, and it is still helping me in my journey through MBA as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Nice. So what would you say, like, when was it like you actually started like a serious preparation, like you started classes like a year back almost?
Yes.
So, but when was it like full throttle, now I have to only crack the exam?
Yes, I think it was somewhere around April 2016 that I joined CATKing, and that was the time I decided if I do it, if I put my own money in this, then I will do it this time for sure, because I knew I did not want to waste another year behind this, and I wanted to crack any exam that I give. The first attempt I will crack it, and I will make
Great.
it through.
So what would you suggest for students who have like the next 3 to 4 months to NMAT? What
Yes.
should they do for specific, like you mentioned verbal was your weak
Yes,
area,
yes,
so what
yes.
should they do for their weak areas being verbal?
Okay, so for the preparation, what I would say is give as many mocks as possible. Initially, I think in a total of 30 to 40 mocks it is that I have given. Initially, I has to give 2 mocks in a day.
Okay.
One mock in the morning, analyze for 3-4 hours, take a break, give another mock and analyze it, and then take a break again.
Okay.
So gradually I reduced the frequency, 1 mock a day and then 1 mock in 2 days. That is what I did, and I gradually kept on working on my weaknesses.
Okay.
So it is okay if you don't know a topic, you can always work on it. But mocks is something that really helps.
Interesting. And how about your entire preparation for verbal aspects? Like apart from the word power made easy, what else did you focus on?
Word Palm made easy, and I followed Rahul sir's tip, which was solve one RC and one DI every day. So
Okay.
that has worked for me like anything, because these were the two areas which were of most, they used to like really stress me out a lot. So I followed this. One RC, one DI per day is
Okay.
more than enough to, crack NMAT.
Awesome.
And 210, people can easily score about 220. It's just me who scored 210, and that's fine. That's absolutely
So
fine.
then the next question that comes is like everybody has a 210. Can you tell what NMIMS is? So what do you think? What would you say to everybody else since you are in second year of NMIMS already?
Yes. So it's just a score. 210 is just that you have cleared a cutoff. It does not speak of what you are as a person. So when you make your statement of purpose, you should make sure, because what happens is your statement of purpose will go in front of the interviewer before you enter. So it will speak volumes about yourself. So make sure you have put everything in that which you want to be, you to be known for. So
Okay.
that is one key that I would like to share with you.
And how was your overall CDPI experience, like your case discussion and interview? How did that go?
Yes, so case discussion, personal interview, again I was with CatKing only, and there were a lot of seniors from NMIMS also, and from other colleges also used to come and train us. So we used to have proper GDs and then followed by personal interviews. That is where I came to know how many entries to give, when to start, what to speak. There's a particular way which you need to follow. Like if there is a case discussion, then don't jump to a conclusion. Start with finding what the actual problem is. So CatKing has actually guided me through all this. I would not have done this on my own. That is what I
That's
feel.
good. So the overall CDPI went smoothly
Yes,
for you.
yes,
in the actual
fantastic.
interview.
Yeah. It was just another day for me then.
Okay, that's
Yes.
nice. That's really good. So would you be happy to come down and help the future CatKing
Of course,
students
I will be
definitely?
ready. Any time I will be
Awesome.
ready.
So
to
we
come.
shall definitely have you back
Yes,
soon.
for
All
sure.
the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from CatKing.